Well, the students that we get here in the Department of Modern Languages at William & Mary are a professor's dream, really. It's always a privilege to work with them. There is always someone in every class you teach who is super well prepared and who asks a question that gets you, the faculty member, to look at the subject matter in a different light.
They're also really intellectually curious. They come to class well prepared, having done the reading, and often having done extra research, really ready to engage big questions.
Our faculty are fantastic. No, seriously, I've been teaching at William & Mary in the fall, I'll start my 30th year teaching here. And it's true that one of the reasons that faculty members decide to stay, number one is usually the students, but I gotta tell you, the Department of Modern Languages and Literatures has a really talented faculty in our 8 programs, and people are dynamic, people are creative, people take that creativity and energy and enthusiasm into the classroom. We have colleagues that have created initiatives for faculty-student research that are really remarkable, and I think our curriculum is really interesting and innovative, and it's thanks to the faculty.
I think in class something really great they do is that if you get something wrong, they're going to correct you, but they're not going to make you feel bad about it at all. And I think that's really helpful. And also seeing them outside of the classroom and a lot of Chinese events that the school puts on is really helpful too.
Well, the faculty in the Modern Languages department are really great. We have a lot of small class sizes, and so it gives you a chance to really get to know them. And in my case, I'm an Italian Studies minor, and I'm great friends with all my professors, which I never would have expected coming into college, I guess. And there's a lot of opportunity for independent studies and research as well, and they encourage you to learn more about their own research, which is exciting as an undergraduate.
All of my professors are really interested in what I'm doing both inside class and outside of the classroom. They've written me recommendations for a bunch of different programs, for scholarships. They email me with things they think I'd find interesting for my own research.
We serve more than 4,000 students a year, and we have approximately 70 majors a year. And most of the majors have a double major. They double major in global studies, biology, art history, business, economics, etc. What attracts our students is not only the languages. As you know, we teach 8 different languages, but our very up-to-date courses in cultural studies. So courses on cinema, fashion, literature, of course, linguistics as well, but also business, fairy tales. The variety is extraordinary.
Class sizes for the elementary language courses for Italian were about 20 students, but as you get higher into the language levels, there are less and less. So right now I'm in an Italian class that, oh my goodness, there are 7 of us or 8 of us. It's pretty small, but it's great. We all know each other. It's open discussion, and you can really see how everyone's progressed with the language.
I think the classes focus on not just the language but also the culture, which was what I was interested in as somebody interested in international development.
So I think the cultural studies, what's important about it is that I think you study artifacts, cultural products that both reflect society's values and then also create them. And I find that my students, I think that they're great at it. I think that they're great at thinking about how our daily cultural products sort of reflect who we are.
Well, the great thing about cultural studies at William & Mary is that we have an integrated approach. That's really the strong point of the college, where we're unique, where we have the power and erudite sort of scholarship and scholars of a big name research institution, but also the intimacy of a small liberal arts college.
We have lots and lots of courses in modern languages on film. You can take French cinema, Spanish cinema, Russian cinema, German does a lot of cinema still. Some of our classes are in English, and some of them are in the target language. In 1990 and the 90s, a lot of students didn't know about editing. I think there was a lot less knowledge. And so they were kind of shocked to learn that films are cut together. And now students are much more savvy. They understand how film works. A lot of them do digital projects themselves. So but I still have students who say to me, wow, I never knew how to read a film before. I always just went to it for entertainment. So there's still a lot of students getting that out of it, finding out that it's like a novel. It's made up of components that you can take apart. Some of them are really interested in the theory, and some of them are interested in production. But I think what they really get out of it in the end is what they get out of a good literature course, which is how to read critically.
The first level is about language. What language is, the power of language. This is what literature teaches us, the power of language. Language is more than just a juxtaposition of words and the meaning they convey, but it's also how language can convey passion, how language can convey love, hatred, madness. This is all what literature can do on the first level. We get to hear stories that don't reach us anymore because those are stories that come from beyond our borders, our national borders, but also the borders who define who we are.
Basically, students with all kind of a language background can find a language class in our program. 101 usually we offer it to students with zero language background, and so as a language instructors, I have taught all those 4 levels of language courses, and which gave me such a privilege and pleasure. After 4 years of studying, working with students, I see how much progress students can make in its short 4 years.
One of the main features of this department is that it strongly encourages and has a huge devotion to foster independent student research. That can translate into very different forms, right? From honors thesis to practical projects to independent studies.
I'm currently writing an honors thesis in the French department about the collective memory of World War II, which is kind of perfect for me because it's able to combine French and German, which are the 2 languages that I studied at the college. And that is something that I was able to do. I was able to go to France over the summer thanks to a scholarship that's offered through the French department, which was an amazing opportunity that I would not have been able to do without that scholarship. And so now I'm writing this thesis. It's wrapping up now, but it's been kind of the perfect culmination to my experience in the Modern Languages department.
Something that I'm proud of as a faculty member is the degree to which we at William & Mary, particularly in modern languages and literatures, are able to help students from their first year as young students, after their freshman year or during their sophomore year, begin to pursue serious research mentored by a faculty member that may take them in some variation of that research through the 4 years.
One of the new programs that we have going, and has grown mightily in the last few years, are summer internships for students, especially in foreign languages. I routinely place 4 students every summer at the Embassy of Spain, working in both cultural affairs and education. We also place many students at the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C., where we have the greatest institutional presence of any university on the East Coast. So if you know foreign languages, we can place you at very enviable research opportunities inside of Washington, D.C. or New York for summer internships.
We have 8 language houses, which are connected with the 8 language and literature programs in our department. And the language houses provide a fantastic opportunity for our students to get to know the culture of the country that they're studying, because the tutors come from the different cultures around the world, and to practice the languages that they study.
We have, the native speaker who's a tutor who lives in the house with you, and they're always preparing activities every week. They're doing cooking classes and language conversation hours and planning events in the community.
They always have cultural events and culture nights that are open to the campus community, so that's really helpful to learn the language and get involved on campus.
We have a few special events throughout the year. We have a volleyball tournament where we get the different residents of the different houses together and go against each other. We also have the International Dessert Night, and all of the houses make a few different desserts from their culture and we share them with each other. And then they also do either a talent show or some type of presentation to represent their house and get the members of the house involved.
You start to feel a very nice community around the house. It's not just because you are learning there or something. It's because you are finding something more there. You're finding a kind of family there, and that's a very nice thing the language houses have.
So all of our programs offer the opportunity for students to study abroad, whether it's for a summer, 4 or 5 weeks, or it's for a semester, and some students even have the opportunity to study abroad for a year. Most of our programs, when students get to travel abroad, will engage into research. They will research a project that is very dear to them, that they want to focus on. A lot of our students are doing double major, so they can take classes also while they're studying abroad. They can take courses in university abroad and get transfer credit for their major in modern languages, but also for their other major, whether it's international studies, government, business, history, global studies, for example. So those are credits that can get transferred.
Yeah, bringing guest speakers is important because they expand the classroom, if you want to say so. All of a sudden, we can bring the entire scholarly community of our field in our classroom.
When we have speakers come to the campus, it's not like you're only in a room of 200 people seeing a famous scholar or celebrity. You actually quite often have these guests come into our class and integrate, they're integrated into the curriculum. And so that seems to be the strength that sort of sets us apart, where we are actually able to get really exciting speakers here, very prominent speakers, but also, as students, you get to have interaction with them.
Russian studies, Japanese studies, and Arabic studies. I can do that over if you want. Should I do it again?
Yeah, just that second part.
A second language. Shit.
You can just sort of talk to me.
Okay.
All right,
Not
great.
to the camera?
No, not to the camera. That would be weird.
Okay.
Yeah, because otherwise it's like your big brother talking to people. Right. Oh,
Okay.
you could do that. That would be good. You know that song,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the chorus is, like a dull knife, you just ain't cutting. You're just talking loud and saying nothing, right? And I love that.